Okay, there should be sound now.
Yes.
Hey, and you should be able to hear everyone do a quick talk for Swiffer, and then we're good to go, hopefully.
Talk for
Um,
Swiffer, and then we're good to go.
talking words.
Sounds good.
All right, final adjustment on Drew mic, and then I'm ready.
You playing Counter-Strike too?
I meant to type Chatterino to open the chat, and then I was thinking of cousin, so I typed COU, and it opened Counter Strike automatically.
As it does.
Both of
And my
us?
two cousins,
Yeah,
yes.
all both of
I
us
can't
have
see
haircuts.
Drew, but I assume his haircut is super fresh.
Check,
Fresh enough to
Yep.
cut tile out here.
check, Rooney. I'm talking loud, but not too loud. I'm talking too loud, coming in at yellow. Perfect. Yeah, this is the shortest haircut I've had in a long time, and just in time for it to be cold as shit. Swiffer, go ahead and introduce
Looking
this
forward.
new experimental segment, please.
This is the book club.
It's the cousin book club.
It
got
is the cousin
here.
book club.
No.
Your favorite cousins. The BBC reached out and said they needed more programming for their midnight slot. So this is the pilot we're sending in. This is Cousin Book Club. Basically, five cousins got together and decided to read a book over, I think, 4 months, which is a long
No.
time.
We did it in two.
Two.
We did it in 2
I
months.
feel like it was 2. Yeah,
Well,
that's unfair.
can I be honest? I am reading the end right now.
Jesus. Five
That's okay.
cousins.
No, I'm on the last chapter. Like, I'm literally on the last page. I've already pretty much read how it ends.
Five cousins, 2 months, one book.
Fun fact: I read the last chapter with Sarah, and this is I'm gonna peek behind the curtain here a little bit. But Sarah, I went to a sleepover at Sarah's a couple of weeks ago, whatever. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't remember, whatever.
Wait, as my
But
birthday, October 7th, it was a Tuesday.
Jesus.
okay, yep, leave it to Sarah. The not yeah. I was gonna make a joke, but I think it'd be inappropriate. So leave it to Sarah to know the very specific date. Yes, it was his birthday, but anyway, I slept over there, and Sarah does a thing before bedtime with the girls. They have to brush their teeth, no more screen time, and then everybody reads. So I was like, oh, perfect. Sarah had the book there, and I was like, I'm in the last chapter, so I read the rest. I read the last chapter with Sarah. Sarah's with the kids. It was fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, Swiffer. I don't think it will ruin. Like, I'm not. There's no questions targeted at the end, kind of thing, and I'll explain why in a second. So if you don't finish reading it, don't feel like you have to multitask.
No, you're good.
I
No,
feel
that's
like
fine.
I feel like you'll at least know the themes and stuff.
No, I've.
Yeah. No,
I'm-
way more than the
I'm,
things. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
here
She's-
to get spoiled. Like, I personally don't mind spoilers. So, like, if you guys tell me
Yeah.
like the last sentence of the book, that's okay.
Yeah. And for those that do mind spoilers and found themselves listening to this recording sometime in the future, now is not the
Stop
Cut away.
now and go
Yeah,
ahead and
stop
go
now.
read the book.
Yeah, and then come back.
And then come back and then hit
But it's a good
play.
read. All right, so we'll kick it off real quick, and we'll kick it off by starting with, I think a quick intro is in order, and I'll go last.
I did write a short description of each person. If someone needs to know like who's talking and who are these people.
I like that. Do
Yeah.
you want to read it, or we're just going to include it? What do you think?
I'll go ahead. I'm Drew, the cool
ahead,
one. When you're hearing this voice,
Yeah.
it's the cool one. Sara, the one who knows the
Definitely cool.
dates. Swiffer
Yeah.
still hasn't read the book. Jper, the
Yep.
pirate cousin, and MC,
Yep.
who is MIA because that's his MO.
As per
I
usual.
even tried to text him.
Wow.
He probably said
Yeah.
he sent her text to voicemail. That's how strong MC's rolling today. Let's add to that beautiful description your go-to order at a coffee shop. What's the go-to order? And then lastly to that, let's add if you have been a part of a book club before. That's it. I'm gonna keep it nice and clean. I have been a part of a book club. My go-to is cold brew or just plain black coffee. Swiffer, aka Alex.
I change my caffeine intake very, very frequently. Currently on iced tea with little
that.
to no sweetener.
That's my second go-to choice.
Never have
Yes.
been in a book club.
I like that. Sister Bear, aka Sarah.
I have been in book clubs before, currently in one with my mother and some other people. And I look for, when I go to a coffee shop, I always look for a fun drink. Normal go to lately has been mocha iced with raspberry syrup, if that's on the menu. That's my favorite coffee, but I
Good too.
currently not drinking coffee. So yeah.
Interesting. I like that. Drew?
It is kind of hard to type and do stuff. Sober for 6 months. That's not a fun joke. Terry.
Terry's getting a lot of money.
Oat. I have down the street from me a coffee shop. Oat draft latte. Pretty serious. Cold brew started hitting my tummy pretty hard. That was my old drink. That is my new life as an oat milk boy. And I've been in, I think, one book club before, but it has been many years. Many years.
Good deal. And then I'll fill in for MC. Hi, my name is MC Sproxy. I'm a pumpkin spice latte man,
Yep, that checks out.
even when it's not in season. And I don't think I've ever been in a book club. Thank you, MC. That was beautiful. All right. First book club meeting, first of many, hopefully, but the last one of this year. And my book was chosen, so I was tasked with coming up with questions. I started making up the questions about 10 or 11 days ago, and I didn't want to use. I didn't use AI. I didn't want to use any kind of GPTs because I've done the book club thing before. It's fairly easy to come up with questions. I was into the book, so it was easy. But I did use ChatGPT, full disclaimer, to find out about the author, which kind of led me down a funny road. I don't know if you guys have Googled the author, know anything about the author, but the author's name is ML Wang, and she's fairly absent from an online footprint, which is why I ended up resorting to ChatGPT or other GPTs to find more information on the author, because I wanted to talk a little bit about the author as a part of the introduction to the book. So that led me down a very interesting rabbit hole because she doesn't have social media. She doesn't do a lot of interviews every year. She does about 1 to 2 interviews, mostly in the written format. So if you Google her or like YouTube her, there's no videos of ML Wang. Really, there isn't any. Because I was going to share some of that stuff as a opener to this, only to realize that she doesn't have a big online footprint. Her FAQ and her website is kind of funny, as are her prologues and intros. So basically, in the spirit of the author, which tries to limit her exposition we're not going to cover a lot. I do have a few little tidbits that I want to share. But there are some cool things that kind of made me rethink how I was going to approach the questions for this. So let me tell you about the author, and then we'll jump into the questions. Did you guys read the prologue, by the way? Anybody read the prologue and her
Yes.
forwards and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I usually do,
Don't
unless it's
remember.
weirdly long. Sometimes if they're like
Yeah,
10
yeah.
pages, I won't read them, but if they're short, I don't remember this one being that long.
No, it's super short. I'm gonna hit you guys with. I summarized a couple of tidbits that I found interesting. One of them is that she's a trained martial artist. I think it was karate and taekwondo that she's practiced and or trained in and trained other people. She lives somewhere in Wisconsin, which I thought was interesting, but it's very nebulous. She doesn't share any of her whereabouts really, which is fun, I think. And I didn't want to go too deep in like searching for this stuff because I was like, you know, that's her vibe. Let's respect that. Let's not find out. Let's not dig too deep.
I like my writer to be kind of reclusive. I like
Yes,
that
yeah,
mystery.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shares her home with a maroon-bellied parakeet named Sulu, which is
Yeah.
on the foreword. Always wanted to kind of write. One of my favorite books of all times, definitely in the last 5 years, is hers. It's called The Sword of Kaigen. If you haven't read that, that's an amazing, amazing book. I think Sister has read it. Drew, have you read it?
No, I think we've talked about it.
It's a fantastic. It's my number one recommendation. If you want a book published in this, it will be my number one choice for sure. For sure. I can't wait to reread it, but I haven't reread it at all. And then I think lastly, the other tidbit that I wanted to share was that she has a degree, like a BA in history, which she draws from for these kinds of things. And then after the book discussion, I'm going to share a interview that I found that was very interesting. She was being interviewed about this particular book. I thought it was interesting, her opinions, her thoughts, but I don't want to share it now because it may guide or change some of the answers we would normally give. Okay. Cool. Sorry, guys. All right. So, did any of you guys Google the author or anything like that?
Not really, no.
No? Okay. True? No?
I only looked at to see what other books she's written, and then I was like, oh, I've seen that sort of. Is it Kaiden?
Kaigen.
Oh, yeah,
Kaigen.
because I've seen that at many bookstores. And I was like, oh, that's because the cover is kind of evocative. And I was like, oh, I've seen that book.
Yeah. It's kind of like that book, The Wager. The cover keeps coming up everywhere you go. If you go to bookstores.
Another great
They're
cover.
kind of in the. Yeah, great. Yeah. Sarah, did you Google the author at all? Or just what you read on the book?
I did a small Google, again, the same as Drew. I already knew some of the stuff that she had written, but just still keeping an eye on everything else, and then just seeing very briefly what I could find about the author, which I didn't find much because, as you said, she is recluse.
Yep. And then I think one of the last things I want to make a note about the author, which she says in the interview, and I kind of love this when directors do these or authors do this, is it's the same thing we get from like Pulp Fiction in the Golden Suitcase, what's in the suitcase, or in Inception, is it real or is it all made up? Was it all a dream kind of thing? And it kind of they live in ambiguous. A big point of her when she's conducting interviews or when she's being asked questions is like, I don't want to tell you guys the answer because that's not fun. I want the answer to remain ambiguous, not because I want to be mysterious, but because I think that's the reader's choice. They get to pick what they want. They can remain ambiguous. They can make an assumption, whatever they want. That's part of the fun of creating these kinds of narratives. So she's very when they ask her a specific question about a specific character, she doesn't. It's not she avoids it, but she tries to leave it open, right? That's one of her rules. So, long story longer, in the nature, in the spirit of how she wants her art and her writing to be viewed, I'm not going to try to pin any questions to very specific, hardcore things, but we are going to talk about some themes and some motivations and things. So with that, we'll start with a very easy question, and we'll work up our way up to something more introspective. Let's start. I'll start with Sarah. Then we'll do Sweet Pea on the first round, and then Drew. Favorite character and what moment of that character sticks out? Sister, take it away.
Um, I really liked her cousin. I know she doesn't play like a major part in it, but whenever Fiona goes back, or what's her name?
I'm
It's
trying to
Fiona?
remember her
Fiona.
name.
Alba.
Siona. Alba.
Oh, wait,
Alba.
the main character is Siona.
Yeah.
Fiona.
Yeah, I know,
Siona.
but what's her cousin's name? I thought it was
Alba.
Lila.
Alba.
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 And then Winnie was the aunt.
Yep, there you go.
Right.
Sorry, Sarah, go ahead. It was just bothering my
No.
brain.
It's okay. I just I really liked how, like, whenever she went and fixed the typewriter and did all of that, I thought that was like really cool. And then what she told her afterwards, I don't exactly remember what it was that she said to her, but she was like trying to talk some sense to her, and it was just, that was a very pivotal moment for me with that character, with Alba.
I like that. Swiffer Jet, what you got?
Um,
And it
I
can
really
be the same thing, by the way. Yeah.
yeah, I really liked Tommel's character. I liked his emotional struggles, and also I really like Kara, but I think I like Tommel more. And when he killed everyone, that was the best part.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna put that as fires the nuke.
Yes. Drew.
What is Tommel's daughter's name? Or not daughter, but like surrogate daughter?
Niece, daughter, Kara.
Kara.
I thought this was a frustrating book for me at times because I didn't like any of the characters in the spotlight for a lot of the book. Like I really enjoyed the book, but the main character, I'm like, man, she's fucking up, and the old boy's fucking up, and they can't see each other's point of view. Anyway, but I like Kara because Kara is exactly what she is. She's only on the how many pages is she on? 15. You know what I mean? But she is true to her, is exactly who you want her to be. For all 15, my favorite scene is definitely they're sitting on the couch and she's gonna sneak up and murder our girl.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite. Muck ducking Siona, but not really.
Yeah. Then I would also, I think I would pick Kara too. Maybe on slightly different reasons than Drew, but I just, besides her being true to the page, she had a big impact on a small amount of pages, and I understood her motives. I understood her frustrations. It felt kind of relatable, and kind of straightforward and to the point. Not a lot of fluff, So I kind of enjoyed her the most. Every time she appeared on the page, I was like, yes, this is going to be good. Missed opportunities for characters, right? Let's talk briefly on that before we get a little into the conceptual. I thought, because the book is relatively short, so when I was reading through the book, I was always like, where's it going? How far into this thing are they going to get? What idea is the author trying to explore? One of the things I thought was kind of a missed opportunity, and you never really, and it's by design probably, but her father being a high-ranking official gets mentioned a handful of times.
Yeah. What at the very beginning and at the very end, I feel like.
Yeah, and you're like, well, there's something there. Why not? Like, he could have been a nobody. He could have been a deadbeat dad. He could have been a random dude that doesn't play. But he's the most powerful dude in that organization, in the government organization. And there's no play whatsoever. Nothing to say anything about his intentions. No interaction. So for me, a missed opportunity. Again, not my book. I'm not telling you how to write it, right? But I wanted to see what was the tension there. Why did she give her up? What was somewhat not even his perspective, but like maybe some interactions with each other. I don't know. It felt missing for me.
Yeah.
But I think that was the whole point of it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
it
saying. That's
felt
how it was
purposeful
designed.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole point, is that she realized that the matriarchal way was the way that it was prior, or had been before, the dude came in and basically stole all of their things, claimed it as his own, and then only men could practice it because they basically feared women. And so that
Right.
was the thing. Women were considered useless. So her father didn't consider her to be useful in any way. Therefore, and she realized that, and then she was like, I don't need to talk to that guy because he's nothing to me, just like I'm nothing to him.
I like that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought
Any
about
other
it that
thoughts
way.
on that? Yeah.
Definitely a major
Yeah.
theme is definitely the like division and how you see people that are differently than you are, and like
Yep.
how much empathy you give those people. Um,
Do you think that theme was handled properly in the context of the book?
yes, it gets a little heavy-handed. I won't. I'm so much better at talking about things that I can be critical of than things that I enjoy. And it's going to sound like I didn't like this book. I really liked this book,
Yeah, but you can be critical.
but I feel like a lot like let me think of an example. The badness felt a little too evil. I should give examples. The main bad guy. Does anyone remember his name? Not main bad guy, but her main antagonist at the
Renthorn.
place. That guy was like a cartoon character. Like that, an antagonist can be such a forge to create amazing moments. And every page he's on, I'm ready to move on. Not because I hate him, but because I just don't think he's interesting in that he's evil to the point of like he might as well be cackling in a dark corner when he's not in the scene. Like he did not feel believable.
One dimensional.
Yes, and that dimension was as flat as a piece of paper. That was probably a big mistake.
But I think. So okay, let's talk about this for a second, right? Because one of the things I wanted to shape in these kinds of books, especially when it's fantasy, there's a hero, right, and there's a villain, right? This book to me was strange in the way that it was mostly comprised of anti-heroes. So
Yeah, I would definitely
and
agree
this-
with that. No one's no one's hands are clean.
Yeah, and I googled this earlier because I was trying to look as I was coming up with a list of themes that I wanted to discuss in this book club discussion. I was thinking about villains and heroes, so I googled traditional villains, heroes, and anti-heroes. And an anti-hero is a central character in a story who lacks traditional heroic qualities such as courage, nobility, or morality. Instead, they may be cynical, selfish, and have a weak moral compass, but often do something heroic for personal reasons or by chance, right? Which perfectly describes her mentor, I think. And it almost, in most cases, with maybe the exception of Tamil, it probably describes everybody in this book. And that led me to think that what you just said, and again, they're just different perspectives. What makes Ringham so flat is also what makes him deep, which is to say, in a real world context, there's no good guys and bad guys. It's mostly gray. I mean, there's some truly evil people out there, right? We can cite like a Hitler type thing character, but for the most part, whoever we perceived as bad is more a matter of perspective, versus whoever we perceive as good is more a matter of perspective. So I think in that way, these flat mages who aren't as good, in their way, they're thinking they're doing good. They're coming from a morally high position thinking they're doing good.
For me, it was the buildup of the bad that didn't make him such a, not necessarily like, because he is purely evil, and he was always kind of evil, like because he bullied her, he bullied everybody, like it was just the norm in the beginning, and then it slowly built into like you can tell he's really messed up. Like this guy's just
And
not wired.
what is his name
Not the
again?
mentor. Not the
Renthorn.
mentor. You're talking about Renthorn.
Yeah, Renthorn. Man,
Right.
yeah.
I'm talking about that guy. No, the mentor was just, he's just kind of doing it, and he doesn't really. It's fine. He doesn't really care.
I actually kind of
He's
like
just
Brigham. What's his name? The mentor?
I think it is
Brigham.
Brigham.
Brigham?
Yes, Archmage Brigham.
Archmage. Yeah.
I liked his art. Like, he felt, how do I say? He's the one trying to hold both sides together, right? He's the Spider-Man. He's holding both buildings of, like, yeah, the society is built on a horrible truth that I'm aware of. But also, like, I bring muffins to the office. I did like his character.
Yep.
I definitely have some problems where near the last third of the book, that all kind of falls away. But I liked him, personally.
Yeah, bring him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is also an anti-hero, right? Like he's not exactly
totally.
evil. He's not exactly good. He's somewhere in the middle, very morally gray, and always trying to justify his thing.
Yeah, that was my favorite theme of this book is, or not theme, I guess, but the conversations. My favorite parts of this book were definitely the moments where people's worldviews are being challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a great conversation with Bingham, and there's a great my favorite conversation of the book is between Siona and Tommel in the lab, where he's explaining that, like, her entire moral system is bankrupt to him,
Right.
and she's explaining to him that no, like, intention does matter. For me, this whole book kind of hung on that, of people saying, no, the ends definitely justify the means, and the people affected by those actions saying, no, actually they don't. No matter what you do, you'll never be good because of what the cost of what you've done is, if that makes sense.
Right. So the central, I think when I summarize it best, or I try to summarize it best, the central theme is about ethics here, right? Is the cost of progress worth the price that you're paying?
Right.
Right? I think that was the main theme. And it's very analogous, I think.
I feel like they could have even not included the themes of religion, and it still would have held up okay.
Yep, I agree.
I love you guys. I think I disagree. I think I really appreciated the religious component.
It wasn't a bad, like, it fueled my real life anger towards religion. We won't get that serious, obviously, but like, just how, like, the story was written, like, I think it couldn't have been it, like, if it wasn't there, it still would have been like a great story. And
I still agree, only if you don't count the magic system as a religion.
Right.
The magical system has two roots, right? It has like a tyrannish root, and then the other kind of root, not the root,
Caladish,
philosophies.
Yeah. Something. Leonic, and the other one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think absent of thinking of magic as a religion, kind of could be. Yeah, I don't think it needed the extra layer, but it also worked. It tied them to the thing.
I really liked.
It did make it like really showed like extremism, I guess.
Yes, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I love the trope of highly intellectual people, or people that think they're highly intellectual, also being in a religious majority. Like, I think that together is very interesting. And those being the bad guys is like not to get to mirror what Swiffer said, but not to get into it if we don't want to. I love that in real life and in fiction.
We can always get into it. We can suspend this, but the I think what's what's cool about it, and cool, I'm being a little cynical. But what was interesting is in the book because what one thing the book did is that I thought was enjoyable is in the dialogue, and I think the author does dialogue well. Meaning, normally when you see dialogue in a book, it's just it's a vehicle to move the story forward or give you some clues. Here, they actually press intent. They actually press the motivation of the character instead of just giving you some historical passage because it's needed to move the story forward or create some kind of tension. So when they're pressing each other, the characters, whether it's Siona pressing High Mage Brigham or Thormel and Siona going back and forth on basically a philosophical debate, I think they do a good job because they get to the point where most humans would get to in a real life discussion, which is it's just a matter of faith. It's just what God said,
Right.
right? And that becomes the kind of the end all, the big point on the conversation, and the other person's left not like, yeah, that's we still haven't gotten to it.
Right.
You can't just say that and make it okay.
Yeah, no, I think you put the nail right in. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. A dialogue is so hard, and even though these conversations, like you said, it felt very real. Like none of it felt fake. Like none of the dialogue felt like we need to deliver this point. Like I need to get to here, so let's have them talk about this.
Yep.
And a lot of it felt earned, and very few of the conversations both characters walk away thinking, "I'm glad I convinced them of something," or
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I thought that was very cool and equally frustrating. So like it was nice to see that in this fantasy world, my own frustrations also happen here in fantasy. So I can't just go there and wave them away because sometimes what happens in these fantasy books is like you would rather live there because they don't have all this extra political or religious bullshit to deal with. Versus here, it's still the same thing. If I were to you know, make believe and transport myself to this magical world where they live in, I would still be subjected to the same systems of religion and some systems of political, frustration that we kind of feel here today. And I'm not saying just because of the current political climate. I'm saying in general, right? Like
Right.
I didn't feel this way. I've been feeling this way for years. It's not just a new thing that just happened. Um, we'll start with Swiffer on this. Um, it's kind of and then we'll go Sarah, then we'll go Drew, because I think the female opinion on this will be interesting. Sayona proclaims that her true ambition is helping all women, not just personal advancement. Is that believable? Is that annoying? Is that frustrating? When you read those things, were you rooting for her? How did you find yourself going through that part of the story?
I mean, obviously, one of the strong themes of the book is like the patriarchy,
Right.
obviously, and like now,
Keeping everything in place the way it's always been, right?
yeah. I am very neutral about Siona's character in general. Still, same as Drew. Like, I still think I love this book. Like, this is a really good book. I mean, she did good work, but she was in almost the whole time she was like very selfish, something that she realized. It was just all selfish, just fully selfish the entire time. I do think in the end, like, she made the right choices every time. I was very happy when when the nuke went on, the nuke got dropped. But in terms of advancements for women,
Maybe that
Swiffer, go ahead and
wasn't hitting the nail.
go ahead and speak for all women, please. Go ahead.
yes,
Yeah.
that was, we can end quote. That goes for all women. How I feel.
Sister, similar take, different take.
Similar take. She was very selfish. She was a better character when she realized what women actually do and what role they play in life. She was very like critical of previous women, and she didn't want to be a teacher, and she kind of looked down on it. But I mean, at the end of the day, the teachers are where you're learning everything that of how you come to be. So it's not like a terrible job. It's just a different type of thing. And if you really want to help people, then you normally have to teach them. So it was kind of annoying, some of it, until, you know, she came to, like, her entire foundation just burnt to the ground, and she had to build it back up. So that part was fun.
Drew, closing thoughts as you're speaking for all of women that exist today, have ever existed, and will exist.
Yeah, I'd also like to speak for women.
As we hear, yeah.
Can I take a quick second to talk to you guys about trad wife? No, yeah, similar. I think similar to you guys. It was very much like early on. You're rooting for her, obviously, and she's obviously an amazing talent. But like the way that she describes, I'm terrible with names. Her aunt, who has given up. We don't even know how much, right? Like to make sure that she had a life where she could go study this stuff, or her cousin, who I think she talks about works like 13-hour days. And I did not get the sense of appreciation, only in the like Vegas sense of what these other people had given up. I think in one of her dark moments, actually, she is kind of like, man, I wish I could hug them one more time and tell them that I appreciate what they did. But yeah, I like that it felt realistic in that way. When you work your whole life for something, like everything else falls by the wayside, and that's like the cost of being excellent sometimes.
Right.
And I thought that was sold well.
I think the cost, this is just like a side idea, not necessarily something I want to bring up, but because you brought it up, the cost of being excellent is something I appreciate in some people, meaning there's real dudes and dudettes out there in real world sacrificing their family life and a whole bunch of other things to maybe cure this type of cancer or create a better treatment for it or put man on the moon or whatever it was historically or it is today, right? Like sacrifices have been made. I would not make those, right? But some people do. I would not trade spaces with them. But I'm glad that there are people like Siona or whomever that dedicate their life to a pursuit, whether it's, studying mammals in, Madagascar or whatever the hell they're doing. Because you do need those people. If everybody was more balanced, you would not get any Nobel Prize laureates or winners. Yeah. I think.
No, I think you're definitely right. Those people keep the lights on, but like we're not those people's kids who didn't get to see them at their baseball game.
Thankfully, we're not those people's kids.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But a prize is paid somewhere, true to the theme of the story, right? Which we'll get. I think I'm jumping a little bit around my questions, going organically, which I think is working. But the next topic I wanted to cover was less on themes and characters and more just on you as a reader. And we'll start with Drew this time. A expected path of the story and an unexpected path of the story that you experienced as you were reading the book, if you can recall it. Some people finish the book, a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, a few minutes ago. So an expected path.
2 hours from now.
An expected path you saw coming, and whether you liked it or not, you saw it, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is a good place for the story. And then an unexpected path that the story took that it surprised you didn't see coming, whatever it was.
Oh my gosh, great question, Jper. I was so convinced. Like chapter 3. I'm like, son of a bitch. We started the book with this dude and now the second chapter's a girl. These people are definitely gonna meet up and they're gonna become lovers and save the universe. And I was like, man, I can't, like, I'm still gonna read this because I want to, I'm in this book club and I want to talk to my cousins about it. But I was like, damn, this sucks. Because no matter how good the rest of this is, if that's the crux of this book, I'm gonna be so miserable.
Trash, yeah.
And I was so happy that that was handled with care and was not the point of the book. So that was an unexpected turn for me. Expected, this is such a nitpick and probably too close of a focus. So you guys know great fantasy books and even some books in real life, there's a map at the beginning.
Yep.
So in this book, my copy has a map at the beginning.
The
and
spellograph.
and it shows, yes, the spell. That's a great diagram, by the way. I wish I could put that on the screen.
Love it. Yeah.
But the map has like 4 places of interest. So it has her house, Tommel's house in the shit quarter, whatever it's called. It has like what the outside lands are called. Anyway, you can see that like 4 of them are named. The last one that's named at the top is Bingham's estate or whatever. So I was like, oh, we have to go there. So that kind of took all the air out of when she's in prison or when it seems like everything's gonna. Because I know in my head, well, we haven't gone there yet, and I know we're going there. The author is not going to have a scene without her and him there. And that bummed me out, and I wish I hadn't even looked at it. Because it took a lot of the stakes out of the middle chunk of what's going to happen. Yeah.
It's like you watched a 5-minute trailer on a movie.
Yes, and I saw the wrong 2 scenes, and I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. I have to come back to the chicken store.
Which is, you know what's funny? I don't see those things until the end. And sometimes it robs you of things, but it generally doesn't.
So I don't know if that answered your question, but I needed a platform to say, if you're going to put your cool map in the book, put way too much information on it so I can't grok the 5 places that this book's going to take place.
Yeah. I'm pulling a picture from the spellograph in the whiteboard.
The spellograph in that whole thing was great. I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about one of your other questions. That whole idea,
we're going to dive into magic systems.
Amazing.
It's gonna be yummy. But before we get there, let's kick it over to Swiffer Jet.
My expected path was I knew she was going to use the blight on the mages. But the unexpected is I thought it was going to be when she like did the noon thing. I thought that's when she was going to kill everyone, but it didn't happen, and I was like, oh shit.
Wait, I don't remember the noon thing.
Where all of her mirrors
lit up, yes, you thought then it was going to trigger. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
What, Sarah?
I wish I would have thought of yours, Swiffer, because I didn't see the frame and mirrors coming into play until I didn't
either.
That was yeah.
Sarah, you got to sing it. This is your moment. Sing it, sister.
Well, I was just gonna say the frame and mirrors I expected, but at that point she was still believing that she could turn somebody over to her side to fix the world and make it right. So she wasn't in the mind path of we just got to get rid of everything and start fresh. She was in the mind path of we can all do this together if we all know and are on the same page. Like I'm sure we all knew, that all the archmages were going to know of what they were actually doing.
Nah, I thought she was going to snipe Renthorn. And show everyone.
You're like, look, he's evil.
We're getting rid of one bad person, but here's what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, no, I figured that wasn't.
That's interesting. Yeah, I see how you got there though.
Yeah. That was my expected path, and then my unexpected path, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I did think that they would try to go out and like live. I didn't know I didn't know how it was gonna end, honestly. Like I didn't expect her to try to blow everybody up. Like I loved it. It was very Kara of her to fucking do that. And it was great, but I really did not expect that to happen. I really thought that they would just kind of leave and try to go somewhere else. I don't know where else they could have gone. They couldn't have gone anywhere else because they were using all of everybody's energy to, build that world.
I think for me, like that could have been not really a missed opportunity, but I guess something that could have been expanded on was like more about life outside of it, outside of the Tyran.
Really?
Well, I think it's an opportunity for like a second book because there's no life outside of that place because they they kill it off.
I was really excited when I finished this book and thought, thank God there's no sequel. I really like where they left it because I think it's up to you, right? Like, does Tehran and the dumb mage, I forgot the dummy who they don't kill, who's like, this guy's gonna have to fill the void. It's like
the one
Jeremy
that
the
is-
Eighth or whatever.
his dad
It's,
his dad was
let me
a
turn
Jaren
my-
Mordra. Jaren Mordra.
Yeah, Jaren, our boy Jaren.
Mage Sirith Mordra.
I was glad that they left it where they did. And it's up to you to decide, like, does Tehran like live on, or do they fuck themselves, or do they repeat in 100 years? I like that.
I actually think if you're successful, like let's say it is advice for anybody listening to this, you guys, myself, if you're successful in any capacity with storytelling to the level of Game of Thrones, you should leave it ambiguous. You shouldn't always lean your hand.
You think you want to know, but you don't always want to see the alien. You don't want to see the monster.
No, because whatever whether it's Breaking Bad or whatever I don't want to name all these pop culture references, but whatever the story is, it's better. Whatever you made up in your mind is always better than whatever somebody's telling you it is. Even when you would agree with it, you normally don't. So in my way of thinking, everything's more enjoyable when you leave a little bit of ambiguity. You don't have to do Disney endings every time.
Well, I feel like to help with your point, I feel like a lot of people feel that way about like cold cases, like cold murder cases, going on a different tangent, because like a lot of people are like when you find out who did it, it's kind of obvious, but
Right.
when it's left like open ended, it could be anything, anyone, anywhere.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mark minute 46 for Sarah to bring up a cold murder case.
Actually, can I say, to be honest, it took record long time.
Yeah. I had my money on 10 to 15, so that's money out of my pocket.
Yeah. Well, the wagers, it actually took too long. Maybe it's me only missing. So expected that I really, obviously you see it a mile away, but I thought this is great, is when I immediately knew that the Quen janitor was him, right? And that somehow his skills as a outdoorsman was going to help, and I was happy to see how that played into it. I thought, this is fantastic, and he's changing her perspective. I thought that was fantastic. Unexpected. The unexpected thing for me that I really enjoyed because I didn't see it coming, it was that when they were first, and obviously this is by design, when they first describe how magic works and the magic system, and we'll transition to a question about magic here, but when they first describe how magic works, it seems like you're pulling it from the other realm, right? And so it seems like a freebie almost, like we can, as long as we find these sources, we can extract from it. So it seemed like there was no consequence to the magic. Normally there is some kind of consequence. There was a book that I read a couple of years ago where every time you used magic, it drained your own life force. So you were diminishing your lifespan every time you used magic. So you have to balance how much magic did you want to use. And I thought that was clever. Here, it just seemed like a freebie. And so what the unexpected turn was, and I really enjoyed it, is it's not a freebie. The magic comes at the cost of actual life. You just making it anonymous by fuzzy in the mirrors. But if you really look into it, you're killing somebody to create this iPhone. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't mean to dog on Apple. I'm just saying, like,
fill in any company that produces anything in mass.
Yeah, anything that's allowing us to communicate
right
this way. So anyway, I'm not painting your villains or heroes, just anti.
You hear that, sponsors? Everyone's admonished.
Yeah, this is why we didn't make any money, in case anybody's wondering. But true to the book's ending, the truth has to be spoken from time to time. So anyway, long story longer, I thought that was an interesting reveal that I did not see coming, because I was like, okay, this is a free magic system where you can just continue to. In a lot of magic systems, like again, not to bring pop culture references, but Harry Potter, they just will magic
It just
willy-nilly
happens.
without any
Right.
cost. Yeah, it's just out in the air. Star Wars is the same thing. You just grab it, use it. It's there for your use, right? I like magic systems that have trade-offs, and we're gonna dive into magic systems now. We'll start with Sarah. You can give one example of something that worked or didn't work for the magic system for you, and then we'll move it around. Just one example. It could be something you like, something you didn't like. Interesting note.
I was just gonna say, to play off what you were saying, I think the best part about when you're starting to read the book is how that magic system is explained. Like it's very cool to see the magic, even if you don't like the character, just that world alone is really amazing. And to me, the magic building felt more like coding,
Yes,
which I
yes.
thought was very
Right.
interesting. So I was just like, that's really cool, because they're basically just like coders.
Yep, yep. I love that. This is the first time I've seen that done that way. I thought,
Yeah.
genius.
I thought it was so unique, and then I was like, of course this is the book that JP would pick. Not that you knew that when you picked it, but it was just kind of very on brand.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Thought that was great. Good choice. We'll mix it up a little bit. Instead of going to Swiffer, we'll go Drew.
Talking on mute. That's the good shit.
That's that good shit.
I can't remember I can't pull the writer's name right now, but he's probably the biggest fantasy writer right now. He did a great.
Sanderson.
Yes, thank you, Brandy Sandy. Did a great interview
Sandy.
where he talks about how hard it was to develop a magic system that like made sense in the world and your theme, and just talked about how difficult that was for him. And I thought of that immediately when you really get into the meat of what do they call it? They have a special name for the like when you're designing a spell.
Siphoning.
Yes,
Siphoning?
yeah. They
Mapping
and siphoning.
Yeah.
They really give you just enough to be like, this is a clearly thought out and understandable thing, without getting lost in the weeds of it. I think she balanced that perfectly, because there's a world where that's 6 chapters and you tune out. But I thought that was handled perfectly. What didn't work for me about the magic system? My audio is being weird. And maybe I just wasn't paying attention. So near the end of the book, the last 50 pages, we have cars. We have radio. We have, you know what I mean? And I was like, wait, I was picturing this all wrong.
Guns.
Because we have guns? Like, how did this not come up? I thought that was a little odd. Like, somewhere along the line, I either skipped it or it got edited out that all this technology existed, because I was picturing the industrial age early, but apparently it was like you could shoot somebody in the face.
I think,
but it was well done overall.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not defending it, but I think, because I also felt the same way, and maybe I was rationalizing it or making it bounce, but I was like, no, this is not a car like a gangster car with an engine. This is a carriage that would be pulled by horses or whatever animal, except it's self-propelled. That's what I was thinking. And in the
it
book,
was
they
described
describe
as a carriage.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think you're definitely right. That's when old boy had like his picture is basically saying, my cool professor guy has a sports car. I was like, wait, I'm sorry, what the fuck do you mean?
I mean, it did go very fast, so
yeah.
Or maybe it's just fast to her because she doesn't go. I don't know.
I feel like she lived in like a middle class type of thing where yes, because you saw that the guards had guns and stuff because they beat up the people with them or whatever. So the guns didn't feel like totally out. It was just like very selective. Like regular people don't have that kind of stuff. It's just kind of very the select few who have the carriages, and because either the other Archmage didn't have a carriage. You know, he had to call his friend to come with the car. Right. So it's still like it was like very select people can have these type of things. You have to be of a certain class.
Yeah, because I don't think it was a widely used or known thing. This was like his one time to flex it, right? Which seemed a little hackish at the time, but maybe the magic is complex, and maybe we are at the beginning stages of the car revolution, right?
Right, totally.
Where you have self-propelled cars.
And
And
I
this
do
was
not
just-
blame the author. Like, I'm sure there are pieces of crumbs to pick up. I didn't get any of them until then. And I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. And it also felt a little weird, but yeah, I don't even know that it was necessary. Like maybe it was. I'm sure this was when I read it and I thought about it later. I was like, this had to be a bunch of discussions with the editor about does that fit?
Right.
Does that not fit? Does it propel the story? Do we need it there?
My baseless theory is she was looking at a piece of paper and said, I have to get her here. It's dangerous. These people are pissed. I need to get her here safely.
Right. Well, they have trains, right?
Right.
So they're moving in trains already. So
Sure.
Mass transportation is a thing.
Yeah.
So having a crafted car that is like a train of one on not rails didn't seem extremely far-fetched to me.
Right. It
Given
felt
that they
like a
have trains.
moment when this inevitably gets turned into a Netflix movie. That'll be the part that they show in the in the trailer of the dude pulling up in the car and being like, "Get in."
In the Batmobile, it'll be Christian Bale saying, "Get in." Swiffer, magic systems. What did you like? What didn't you like?
I mean, agreeing with all of you that the descriptions of siphoning, mapping the spellograph was freaking sick. I could have read more of that.
Oh yeah. If she does an addendum on it, I'll buy it and read it all, just to see what she thought out of it.
I was also like, when she was in jail and she talked about hearing gunshots, I was like, "There's guns."
Dude,
it did catch me off guard.
Thank you for saying that. Because I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Did they invent guns while she was in here?
But another thing that not necessarily, I guess it didn't work for me, was like there was the concept of the conduits, like having a wand and the staff. It just felt also out of place. Either there should have been more, I guess, like more. It should have been more common, but it just seemed like it wasn't something that was well integrated to the magic system. Thank you.
Hold up. And I will counterpoint that. Not saying that I disagree, because a part of me does agree with that, but what I did like was the concept of the conduits, meaning if we think of magic like some kind of programming language, a USB type drive, the size of a lipstick kind of thing that she would carry in her purse to protect themselves. The idea that mages, because they were trying to keep the status quo, because they were the ruler supreme, all powerful, they were required to train in magic and encouraged to carry conduits. And that I kind of like that the best of all the conduits is the traditional, not just the wand, but the staff, right? There was a wand, there was a staff. Some people had rings, different things, but they could in somehow in D&D spirit imbue those objects with magical properties to conduct war. I thought, okay, that's a concept that is a little bit outside of their normal magic system, but something needed to make these guys a little bit more menacing, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more wondrous, right? Because other than that, they kind of seem like, to me, they seemed like entrepreneurs, businessmen type. Mages weren't coming across as power wielders.
Mm-hmm.
Just designers of.
Yeah.
They needed the little kerpow, yeah. And I thought, okay, the conduit thing seems interesting to me. Besides the fact that they're a cool vehicle for action, it also empowers the magic wielders and sets them apart from just a bunch of humans. And then you kind of see a little bit of that glimpse when Brigham breaks her out of jail. He's slicing and dicing fools like a ninja out there.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
And at his house, when he mows down like 50 people or whatever, and you're this is the real deal.
Oh, he's a mass murderer. Oh, this fella's not. Oh, shoot. I have questions about Kara and her place in the story, but I think my main point was Kara, despite her short appearance on page, she plays a significant role. And I think a needed role. Without her, the story doesn't. It was missing stuff. Maybe a different character could be there, but I liked her appearances. Is there anything about Kara, her reactions, her place in the story, how the places she plays that feels out of place or that rub you the wrong way in any way? Because to me, I think that's the character that most people that read this story would gravitate towards and say, I like her. I can get behind this one. The other ones seem a little off in one way or another.
Can I go first, since what I'm going to say is going to be very controversial?
Let's go, sister. You know what? I'm glad I'm sitting down.
Me too.
I'm gonna stand up so I can sit back down.
Yeah.
So, she was my least favorite character.
Okay.
Her anger just felt
Misplaced.
disgenuine.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what role she played in it and why she needed to be so angry.
Right.
Because Thamel had that thing that I feel like a lot of people who immigrate have, where they're stuck between two worlds, where they're not truly what they were before, where they came from, because they've had to give up so much to try to fit in with the current things and try to live and get by in this new world. And I really like that struggle about his character, because I was expecting him to be the angry one. I was expecting him to have a little bit more anger, like Kara had that anger. And I guess it's because he transferred all his, and like it's explained later on. And then that's when I was like, I don't hate this character so much, just because she was just so unreasonably angry in my eyes. Like, but I understood it later.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, she just, in the beginning, just felt like really angry for no reason, because she definitely had a reason, but it was just kind of like hard for me to connect with her in that way. I forgot what the question was.
Kara, just what worked or what didn't work. If it was things that about Kara that really didn't land with you, and I think you answered.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Sarah makes a great point. There's parts where I forget if Tomel's talking to himself or if he's thinking, but he's basically just like upset at himself that he's failed to contain his kind of anger and hatred, and that it's accidentally gotten all over her. There's a great metaphor for where he's like he couldn't protect her from like the paint getting on her or something.
Yeah.
And that really rung true for me. I loved Kara. I love that character. She is the hope of the future. She is the only thing that keeps Tamil anchored to this world, because like he's not there if she's not. So in my head, I guess she's essential looking back, because if she's not in this, if she's not the character, then he's a revolutionary, which he did not seem to be.
Right.
Yeah, I guess she's the powder that the explosion needed. But I enjoyed every page she was on. I was like, oh, good. She's going to do something kind of wild. She's going to say something shitty to Siona, and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Sarah not liking the most Sarah-like character in the book is hopefully not lost on any of us.
It's completely on brand, by the way. Because I think Sarah said, I think they're going to expect me to like this chick, so I'm going to go against that, is what I'm thinking.
I didn't mind her. She's young. She's like, I assume like a teenager. I think they said she was a teenager of some kind.
I pictured
she's
her
young.
like 13 to 15.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And with that age in mind, I can completely understand like why she is like an extreme level of anger. Just from like things she's heard, the life she's living, looking like seeing Tamil in the life he's living. maybe if she, in 10 years, she will have matured and like understand and won't be as angry, that type of thing. Her character reminds me of the girl, the Wolverine, but younger girl
Yes. Shit, what is her name?
Oh
But yes,
man,
yeah.
X-23, but I don't know her name.
Yes. But X-23.
like kind of feral like that,
Yep.
and is
That's
learning
great.
still.
I love that comparison because I didn't think of it till you said no. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mind her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're down to the last few questions, and I don't want to end on heavy questions. So we're gonna weave one of the. It's not a heavy question, but we're gonna step away from the book slightly, and just kind of like go into hypothetical terms here. So a lot of the book, it very obviously parallels a lot of the things that humans have endured and or lived through, and themes that we have endured, whether that's gender roles, patriarchal, like you name it, it's there, right? The cross of progress, all these very central themes that for some reason even seem more prevalent today. Assimilation, the immigration thing, coming in from the outside, your identity, all these things. We're going to take a step back from the book and just say, in today's world, if you can wave a magic wand and see something done differently, albeit better, doesn't have to solve all the problems, but something you would like to see solved in your lifetime by just waving a magic wand and saying, I think this could be a good thing to solve. I'll go first. My example, when I kept thinking about some of these themes and how they parallel some of the stuff that we see in today's world, one theme that I'd like to see solved, if I could wave a magic wand, would be ethics in companies. I feel like when companies get so large or morph over time or get acquired and then reacquired and they become these entities that have stakeholders and things, they lack the ethics, and then you kind of lose that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about human touch and communication and community and stuff like that, but companies seem to operate outside of that. So if I could wave a magic wand, I would like to see companies operate under some sort of ethical code, shared or otherwise, that make sure that the community impact's still there. Because that's what kind of see as a problem working for a huge company that, seems to not have a solid ethical compass sometimes. That would be mine. Let's go next. Oh shit, I'm out of frame.
Well, I'll go because I guess it could be something along the same lines as you, but more. I guess it's maybe everyone experiencing like empathy or compassion, like seeing people as people, because there are some people that in like your way that like these companies know that they're doing something that essentially is harming either our land or animals or people, and they don't consider it, like they don't think of that. They just just focus on obviously on
devoid
on
of
money.
empathy. Yep.
Yeah.
Or bottom lines or whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, they view people as expandable or savages. And they don't really view them as people, but just as numbers.
Quen. It's Quen.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Sister.
Women's rights.
Okay, I like that. Related to the theme, also touched.
Men's rights.
That's funny. Drew.
I think the like you said, they touch on a lot, right? There's assimilation, like how different types of cultures are treated differently. It reminded me a lot of Native Americans. Like I don't know if it was supposed to be coded that way intentionally by the author, but the Quen definitely, for me, as I was picturing them in my head, was kind of a stand-in for a lot of like Native American. But I guess I would say power structures, how they exist now. Like,
Yep.
the book definitely ends on a place of hope, and I never get tired of reading things like that, or watching or anything like that. But it is a also sad reminder for me that that's not the place in the story of real life that we are. Like, we're still in the grisly middle. We're not at the part at the end where the thing has happened and now, like, a new world can be forged. So I guess what I would change in the real world is to skip to that part. That part starts tomorrow.
Accelerate that.
Yes, that whatever
inevitable
that moment is, that it is not some far-flung thing, that it is tomorrow. If that's not vague enough, yeah.
You did a good job.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it.
On a slight note of that, imagining like, I guess what would the Quen were described as. I don't know if anyone else also listened partly at the audiobook version, but the lady reading it, she was I'm assuming she is or was making the accent, but it was British. So like,
Wait, for the Quen?
No. She, like, her speaking as like herself narrating and as Siona was British. Like, oh man, okay, never mind. I'm not going to offend British people in here. So she was British, and then when she would speak as Tommel and Kara, they were, I think it was Irish.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
But I think she is Irish. I think. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Moira Quirk.
The person that was.
Oh, then I fully just I just placed my own biases then on it.
It's a British actress and comedian, Moira Quirk. 56 years old, married to Michael Rayner, for just random tidbits.
So I imagine then Quen. I mean, their hair was described as orange, so you immediately put it like
that's right. Yeah.
as Irish or
soulless ginger.
and then it just didn't help when I listened to the book and they're like and this very thick Irish accent.
Several. Okay, well, that's cool.
But I think it's natural and normal to put that kind of spin on it, because I did a similar thing as Drew, where it was like more Native American versus British, because I was always a British. And this Europe, basically.
They're great bad guys.
Yeah. She does. She has a lot of roles, like, as an actress and also narrating. So, lady's doing well. She's even in video games, Elder Scrolls, Star Wars: Old Republic. Yeah, she's Hogwarts Legacy most recently. She stays busy, does well. And now I'm curious to listen to her performance of it.
So, can I make a guess? You were like 20% through the book, and you're like, "Oh man, reading is stupid. I'm gonna turn on the audiobook."
No. So, okay.
First of all, how dare you?
That weekend, or that whenever I went to go visit my parents in Missouri, I knocked out like half of the book on the drive because Kevin doesn't trust me to drive. So I just got to read the entire time. And then from there, I procrastinate, like in every single aspect of my life. I will procrastinate something in school, everything. And so that's what I did. And the last few days, or maybe in the last few days, I started up the audiobook because I have long drives to work.
Why doesn't Kevin trust you to drive?
I don't know. You should go ask him.
Hey, it sounds like the patriarchy strikes again.
Exactly.
Yeah. We should just call him Renthorn from now on.
Yeah, we'll call Kevin Renthorn now.
Yeah.
He's tyrannish. Sure.
Yeah. Dang it. And I used to like Kevin. Now,
wow. Yeah. Dark turn. Kevin's dark turn finally happened.
Yeah.
Kevin. We know Bahood. That's her Kevin.
Kevin. I still like Bahood's cool.
Yeah, Bahood's cool. We're just talking about Kevin.
The names, now that you say that British and Irish thing, those names now make more sense.
Yeah. Because I can't think of Siona as Fiona.
Yeah. Thomal instead of Thomas.
I'm pretty sure I was saying
Redstone.
Siona in my head for the first half of the book.
I say it both ways. Siona, Siona.
Yeah, I find these kinds of things very frustrating. Not because I want to get it right, but because I've committed. Like, you know how you do the wrong lyrics for a song for too long,
Yep.
Yeah.
and now you hear the right lyrics, and you're like, it doesn't matter what it actually is. It's what it was in my head for the last 20 years.
Yeah. Drew's been correcting me on how to say things since I've known him, and I still will always say it wrong. And I
I'm
know that.
happy to
And
help.
you know what? That's okay. I'll need the reminder the rest of my life, and he doesn't mind doing that.
Beautiful.
I like that. We have two more questions. One that's a little more introspective, and then we'll come back to the book, and then maybe open the floor to a few other things here. One of the themes that I thought was inevitable once once she peers into the methods and she's able to see what's actually going on with the magic system and the true nature of the sourcing, and she starts confronting people, is this idea of the complicity of the system, right? How you need everybody to buy into it, how people who already know just want to perpetuate it and they're complicit in it, and they're asking her to be more complicit in it and just go with the flow now that she's in the club. So the introspective part of the question is a complicit role that we play today that we could do better in, right? In the fabric, in the larger picture that we play. And I can start to just to provide an example. I have other examples, but mine would be consumerism, right? Obviously, I needed to acquire this PC because mine was 10 years old. So that's not like an exact example of consumerism. I withheld. But that example notwithstanding, I do have plenty of examples where I'm consuming things and buying things that I should not be buying because I don't really need them. It's just stuff. I don't need more stuff. But you get that nice ad and you think, shoot, it's targeting me. I do need another, whatever, all black sweater, or whatever it is, thing, electronic gadgetry, whatever nonsense. And I'm trying to be better, but I am complicit in a system that, in a way, is not helping anything. It's damaging our environment. I'm ordering things online, oftentimes when I just could go to and I do get better about this, but it's a part of me that's complicit into the system that I'm trying to curve, and we're getting there. It's a battle, right? I'll switch it over. I think we'll do Drew this time, Swiffer then Sara. Drew? Complicity.
Without being too hyper specific, I don't think that we're in danger of this blowing up and me losing any livelihood. My job, loosely defined, is in, well, maybe I shouldn't even say. I make sure that people who already have money
Get more money.
maximize that capacity to get more. And not
Capitalism.
to the I fully participate in capitalism, and not to the benefit of my quote unquote like customer base. Actually
Right.
to the not detriment necessarily, but I am squeezing every penny out of regular people just like me. I think about that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think all of us have this, and I didn't want to. Obviously, I wanted to bring it up because it is a theme in the book, and I think it's important for us to talk about it out loud, because sometimes we talk about a lot of things, but we don't talk about some of those things that roam around in our head that we're working and maybe struggling to do it. Like sometimes it's you can't get rid of it completely because it's part of a web of a system, but it plays a factor. We're doing the thing to try to get better, and time will tell.
That's Catherine and I definitely had that conversation of like, if you start going down the rabbit hole of being like, well, if you're gonna do right by everyone, every product you touch, everything you do, like, is linked to something down the line somewhere.
No.
So it is all interconnected.
It's too extreme. It's
Right.
it's too extreme. I think there's a middle ground somewhere.
Right.
And yeah, but we can get philosophical about it, but we are the stage where we find ourselves in our lifetime, it's a transitional stage. So there's hope that, you know, I'm going to pin it on Estimus and Tilly's right now, but Claire's and the people that are coming will have solved this in a better way. We'll have handled it more adequately than us. Because all this AI, all this internet, all this industrial revolution is happening to us, and we're just kind of going with it. They might have ethics in place to manage it better. That's the hope, at least. Swiffer Jper.
Similar vein. I guess the apathy towards, I think it's because being online and having just instant access to everything that happens everywhere in the world increased apathy to even things like horrible situations that you see, and it's just, oh, I scroll to
kind of
the next
numbness.
video. I feel like you feel like you can't do anything, so like why give anything to it? But that's also a place of privilege, being obviously I'm not there.
Right. Well, and it's both, right? I mean, this is not just you. I think a lot of us feel the same way.
For sure.
It's a balance between I can't turn a blind eye, but I can't care about everything. So I need to draw my own personal line and say, you know, whatever. I'm just in animal abuse, environment, and women's rights. That's my thing. And other people have to fight other fights, and then we'll move the goalpost little by little. Little by little, we'll make progress. Right? Together,
Based, like JP said earlier, and also what you said, Swiffer, is like no generation has had the access to the atrocities that we have now. Like, you know what I mean? And had algorithms that were feeding on our engagement of those things. So, like, we're in unprecedented territory. But hopefully the Esme and Tillies have a chance to get that sorted out. We're on the front row of all that. You know what I mean?
Yep. But I think in comparison to all the generations that superseded, obviously we're stepping on their shoulders. We're doing a good job. It doesn't feel that way because when you're halfway through the swim, it just doesn't feel like you're there. You look back, there's no land. You look forward, there's no land. You're in the middle of the ocean. You're treading water. You're like, should I just go back or should I keep going? The answer is always keep going because we are doing better. It just doesn't seem that way until you get to the other land.
For sure.
Right now,
I didn't mean to make it sound as pessimistic as it did.
No. Yeah. I know. I didn't think it that way, but I'm just saying there's a good thread in this because while it's sometimes we're talking about, you know, the complicity that we feel in ourselves, it's also a reminder that we are doing better than we historically have done. I don't want to detract from that point. It's both.
Word.
A-Town. Sister.
Brother.
Complicity.
She agrees with everything we said.
Pass.
Yes. Yeah. A vulnerability, not interested.
I second the motion. No, I mean, you know, granted, yes to everything you guys said, but also people who lived through atrocities also had to live the day by day. They also had to do the normal things. And when you read their diaries, they're not necessarily talking and focusing on the atrocities every day because as human beings, we just can't. We can't do that or we'll go insane. Or you have to go into action, but you know, like sometimes you just don't know what to do or where to start or how to start. So you just focus on what you can do. And you know what? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what it is. What is an
that
area?
wasn't the question. The question was something about what would more mindful something.
Something where you find yourself complicit. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be mindful of my social media thing every day. Sometimes I set my timers on it where it like times out after 30 minutes of activity, just so that I don't lose my entire life to it.
Yep.
I
like that. Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's a good one. And it's quite common. You know, these things are designed to captivate us and engage us and maintain us there. So it is a form of complicity we all are in or exposed to, at least.
I mean, we all just forget, like, when it started, Instagram especially, it was about your friends and who you followed. And then they started putting in influencers and ads, and that became really popular.
Very
And then
compelling things, yeah.
yeah, and then you
Yeah.
just you'd never see your friends again, and it's just like sometimes I just want to see what my people are posting.
Yep, exactly. And I think we talked about this the other day, Sarah and I, but I think there's a distinction also between good screen time and bad screen time, right? Looking at your friend stuff, sending your cousin a message, reaching out to a friend you haven't talked to, or congratulating them on something, that's a good form of screen time because it keeps you, doom scrolling for 3.5 fucking hours on recipes, even if they are recipes and they are tasty. That's not a good use of time, right? So there's somewhere in there there's a balance. Yeah, all very interesting stuff. Now that I'm looking at the whiteboard Drew created in the notes, I will say I'm a little bit remiss and would have loved to hear some of the opinions from some of our other cousins, including MC. So we might do a little bit of if he listens to this, we might do not a full on session, but we might do a little catch up and just see what input he gives based on the feedback that we have.
I told Kevin what book we read and what the themes were, and he's like, "Oh, he would have liked that."
Yeah.
But he doesn't doesn't necessarily enjoy reading very much, but he has
can
read.
audiobook
He
it.
has enjoyed. I know, right? Like we got options here. I'll convince him.
Yeah. And I think for certain things, we'll see how much likes we get. But I think we can pull it up. And then here's the last question, okay? And it's a light one, nothing crazy or super introspective here. I think Drew, that would be 9. You have an 8 over here. I have a lot of questions, and I just wanted to go organically wherever we went and kind of use those questions. But oh man. If you were in Siona's shoes, would you have done something different in the end? Right? When you are confronted with the truth, you've tried to reason with everybody, you ended up in jail, you broke up your whole family relationship, you have this one hurrah, you're going into trial, right? Not that you agree with the ending of the book, but you in her shoes. Do you execute something differently or leave it as is? And start with Swiffer.
It's hard. Me personally, I don't know.
This is about you. This is about you in her shoes.
You are
not
Siona.
Not you. Yeah, you are Siona. You're not the author. You're not Swiffer Jper. You're Siona. You have the benefit of knowing how the book plays out, right? So you can leave it as is, but you can also go different. You can go different routes. I'm not gonna put any ideas in your head, but you can go different routes here. But yeah, you're not the author. You're not doing this for likes, follows, pandering, nothing. You're Siona in this case, and you get access to the spellographs. You can write spells. You're a maverick. You can do whatever. Maybe you go out with a bang. Maybe you don't. Do you switch it out? Do you keep it the same?
I almost got dark and said, I don't know, I would have fell out of the window. But with the knowledge of what it was. But thinking about like a plan, I don't know, maybe this is a testament to who I am, but I did like the direct retaliation of
a little taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, of blighting the mages. Now, another consideration was for like destroying the barrier. Like bringing it down, but I guess like if the mages still existed, like they could have brought it back up easily. I don't know how that would have worked, but probably like destruction of the system would have been my go-to.
Okay. Yeah. So that kind of flavor. Yeah, yeah. We'll go Sarah. No. Bears of Sisters.
Brother boys. I don't know if I would have changed anything. There's really having it's very poetic, and it served a good justice to do it the way that she did it. So, because you can't play the long game and become the person at the top, because the people are too used to the conveniences of life, how they live it, without having to do everything manually. So you're asking a whole population of people to give up all of these conveniences that are helping them in different ways. It's just too much. So really the best way was the way that it ended, was by getting rid of the whole entire system.
Starting anew. I like it. Drutonia today.
I thought the ending of the book was perfect. But if I'm in Siona's shoes, I do not die. I definitely wait for the next like mage time, or I use whatever that nuke is that she figured out how to create, and I start blasting motherfuckers. I start controlling the revolution. I find a few people that are charismatic that can mold the Quinn to my will, and I create a new empire that is slightly more equitable. And I probably rule with an iron fist, and then we slowly take back the lands around us.
Brand.
She could have started sniping people like almost immediately when she was still free.
And she was a great person, but she looked at, and this speaks to fictional Siona's courage. I don't know that I had the courage to be like, yep, I'm going to make sure I get immolated and all these people come with me. Mine is like, we fire that nuke early, and Papa Drew's on the loose, and I've got a squad that I've talked to in advance. Like, I've made arrangements.
Yeah, there's a way you can excuse yourself to the bathroom and just nuke the place and not.
Yeah, but like to serve the story that they're telling, I thought it was perfect. I definitely wasn't thinking this is stupid. Why is she doing that? Like it all definitely worked. But as Drew, I don't go back to them thinking they must not know. I'm going to tell them the truth. You know that those chapters when she's going back and forth of like, oh my god, now I'm going to tell Brigham and he's going to be like, no way, we have to stop. Like I was.
Yeah,
same as Tom.
I was waiting for you to say something so we could stop.
Yeah, Tom was like, hey, they definitely already know. You should, like, not do that. I never do that. I play it cool, and then I muck their duck somehow. It's dark. I poisoned my soul for the rest of the world.
My twist on it would be I would nuke all the mages, myself included, is fine, but I would also take down the barrier. Just because the magical systems and everything, all that progression that they brought, if they're able to turn it back on, if they want lights, it's all going to be at the expense of other life forms. So in order to kind of start anew, it would make a lot of people uncomfortable. I'm sure it wouldn't be, not everybody would make it, but it would restore things to just kind of living off the land. Because what created the problem was blight. And as long as the city is intending to continue, and I generally, here's me revealing a little bit of my JP hand, I don't think of cities, despite the fact that I live in a city, I don't think of cities as a great things for humans. They're great things for commerce, but they're not great things for humans. There's more depression in cities. It's just less quality of life in general, whether that city is real here in this real world or fictitious. I think the same way. So if I was Siona, bring down all the mages and the dome, the wall, or whatever, the barrier down with it, and then we're going back to campfires and hunting and fishing.
There was a moment for me. Sorry, Swiffer, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing.
Where I thought the explosion was going to expand until it was like the entire Tyrannish quarter or whatever. Like I was in the back of my head, I was like, I know that's not what's she's not gonna mass murder, thousands of people. But I kind of thought in that moment, oh, she's given up on everything and we need a hard reset. And I thought that's
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
going to happen. Like almost everyone would die, and all the magic stuff would be gone.
Yep.
Yeah. But it definitely served the story she was trying to tell better. That's not what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
The ending's perfect for the book, but I just wanted to suspend disbelief and say, hey, what do you do if you're in her shoes? Would you do anything? Because there's a moment in the book when you're reading through it where you're like, wait, what would I do? Is this good? And then you kind of figure out what we all kind of concluded, which is, yeah, I mean, it's not maybe the best outcome. It's not exactly what I would do, but it's pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
With that said, and I should have asked this earlier, but maybe it's better at the end. Score for the book. We're going to go 1 to 10. You can expand on it if you want to. You don't have to. You can just give the number. Doesn't matter. But the important part here is that it's to the decimal point. 0 to 10. 0, the worst book you've ever read. The 10 is like, I'm going to recommend this book to other folks. People need to read this shit, right? Like other people need to be aware of this wonderful piece of work. It may not be for everybody, but you wouldn't be shy about recommending it. So let's open it up. Does anybody want to volunteer their number first?
I will say, I don't know, the magic, the concept of magic, and it really like really bumps up the number here
Okay.
because I
Yep.
love
I'm with you.
new
Yeah.
concepts.
Yep. I thought it was clever.
It felt like it could stand up to scrutiny, which is, I feel like, not true of damn near every other magic. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is perfect for me.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.1.
Okay. All right. Somebody hit me. Hold on. It was my soundboard when you need it. It was a fucking clap.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Hold on.
Golf clap.
Yep. Yeah, I like the golf clap. Yep. Thank you very much.
8.75.
8.75. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Drew.
8.25.
Oof.
It was coming in really hot. A few things at the end didn't bug me, but weren't as perfect as the rest of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
The number I had in my head before I even saw you guys, the number if I blind tested this was 8.37, and we're gonna keep it at 8.37.
I like it. I'll put the average in on my phone real quick. Maybe not real quick.
I am. The scores are what they are, right? But I'm happy that it was an enjoyable read because I didn't do any research whatsoever. It was just in my list. I like the author. I had read one book and I was like, come back in this. It's a new book. It's gotta be good. She wrote something better. So I'm overall happy for the read and sometimes I've been in book clubs where the books that we read are not meant for discussion. They don't lend themselves well to that. So this one was easy to come up with questions.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think it was a great pick, man. I really enjoyed it.
Yep. And I think that ends this session.
Oh, Drew bonus question?
Mm-hmm.
Drew bonus round. Sorry, real quick, guys.
No rush, but I'm just letting you know that my part is concluded. I am done with all that I think I can do.
Does anyone else have a favorite either moment or description of something or a dialogue between two characters? Is there a moment in this book that will stay with you?
I usually go off of quotes. One quote that I saved was, it's cheesy. So many parents will try to kill everything brilliant about a girl in the name of giving her a good life, a safe life, a chance at happiness.
I like
That
that.
was a quote that I like.
That's really good, man. Let's see. I think I saved some as well.
I'm looking at mine.
Left myself notes. Nitpicking. The map at the front of the book gave away the Bingham Mansion shit.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
will
don't
stay with
focus
you.
on maps like you do. I know you love a good map and you examine the shit out of them, but they go over my head. One of the moments that will stay with me is really like the opening scene. I think it was a great setup,
Yes. 100%
and I can
agree.
easily picture that scene over and over and over again. There was a lot of great moments in the book, but I think that one would be one that
Speaking of assistants, did we
will
ever
do it.
find one for Miss Freynan? My mage general turned to Renton. Who
Is
should
that
we
the
say?
audiobook?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
British
it's
as
a
hell.
beautiful-
Short of qualified.
Yes. But it wasn't bad. I have listened to some audiobooks that I'm like, ugh, I can't do this.
Listen, if you need to listen to the one that Drew, what is it called? JP2. You guys both read
Which
it or
one?
listened to it. It's not Artemis.
Oh, the one with
Andy
Rocky?
Weir.
Yeah.
Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. Oh,
Yeah.
that thing's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Project Hail
That's
Mary.
a great book. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. The movie comes out, I think, March.
Come easily to me. I'm going to reduce my deficit as much as possible by drafting the best spell web I can.
I'm thinking, Drew.
I can buy you some time, Sarah, to echo yours. That opening scene and that she bookends it with Tommel chapters, I think really works. The first and last chapter, like both being like Tommel is heading into hell and he's walking into heaven. Like I've seen it done in other books before, but I think it really worked here. When she's describing these peeps and describing parts of your body coming off in ribbons, that is such a like evocative picture for me. Like you can feel it, you can picture it, and it's absolutely horrible. That was cool. Like that you could make you feel something sitting in a room, like make you feel something that like for me, I was like, fuck, that is fucked. And when she's describing that scene where she accidentally kills that girl who's like fishing for clams or whatever, does anyone else remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
dark
Yeah.
haired girl. Yeah.
Oh shit, her like lung is exposed. Like those parts were really powerful and definitely stayed with me. And then the last one is the heated conversation she has with Tommel about like the ethics of this world. And when she starts to realize when she gets backed into a corner how fragile the worldview is, and like, no, it's because they wrote this. Like you know what I mean? You can kind of feel in that moment that she's forcing herself to believe it. That was easily my favorite part of the book. Just those moments where he's like, yeah, my God, there's no redemption for any of you. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? Their intentions were good. Like that conversation bumped up the book a full letter grade for me. That
When they're describing the scenarios,
yes, exactly. And they're like, oh, well, if this in my world, like, it doesn't matter what you were trying to do.
Reasons.
Yeah, if you built a factory and forced people to work there too much and someone fell asleep and got pulled into the machinery, it doesn't matter what you wanted to do. Like,
It
your
doesn't matter
hands
what
are
that
bloody.
factory makes.
Yeah, exactly. It does not matter what. Yeah, I thought that was really cool and well explained. Because like, for two characters to have that conversation is not believable from nothing, and the context all around it made sense to me. And I really liked it.
Yep. My initial thought, obviously, the opening scene is fantastic.
Yeah.
The second initial thought was, and this is just my bias, because I'm a sucker for a good training montage. Like whenever it happens in a movie, it happens in D&D. I'm like, sign me up. This is the cozy shit I'm here for. So like when she's passing the tests and trouncing these fucking fools, and like they dive a little deeper into the magic and how sourcing and how she's going to estimate the weight of the object to just lift it slightly up, whatever, all that stuff, I'm salivating. I'm like, give me more. Like, want to hear more. But my bias aside, what I really liked, and I liked as somebody who's reading, but also as somebody who likes to think about the person writing the book and why they left that there or why they didn't what they did with that moment. I really like the cousin character, the Alba character, because she's kind of holding her together, being her bestie, holding the ground down for her. When the machine breaks, she fixes. She happens to just also be a hell of a technician, a mechanic for the machine, and fixes it. And I like that they have a confrontation at the jail. I think that whole arc between the two is a masterpiece, and it'll stick with me for a while, on just a secondary or tertiary character being relevant and adding to the story in every turn.
In a meaningful way. Totally, yeah.
In a meaningful way, yeah. Maybe Aunt Winnie, this doesn't play a big role because she's not meant to, because she's just a different thing. But this character ties everything together and like grounds the character, that because Siona has a lot of annoying things about her as a character that you're reading through. Sometimes you're like, come on, lady.
Right.
But Alba makes her more relatable. There's a confrontation that probably didn't need even to happen. Like, if you skip that part of that book, Brigham still comes in and rescues her, and the story still moves on, but that confrontation grounds her and makes her like, oh shit, accountable in a way that she wasn't before.
Yeah.
To anybody.
Yeah. No, that was really good. Yeah. That was really good.
And she nails it. She nails the dialogue. She nails the interaction. It's just very good. Very good writing.
Yeah. The thin gap between like perfect payoff and like total forgiveness for your kid. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to veer too far into like, does she take this last moment? Maybe she's gonna forgive her one day. Like, but no, like they leave it with like, you never understood what you have. That was a great scene. Yep.
And I thought when I was reading it and thinking about it later, it felt too real and too well grounded. Having written things before, it felt like she herself had a cousin or that kind of a figure,
right,
that because maybe she was writing a book or too deep diving into the book, that she neglected that relationship. That's what it felt like to me. It was drawing from a very real place.
Yeah, it felt earned for sure. Yeah.
Very humbling. That the whole dynamic with Siona, like she had just a very almost like a male attitude, if you really think about it, for all that she was trying to empower women. And I think that's one of the most annoying things about it, is because even though she was saying all this stuff about women empowerment, she really had like a male, which sometimes you have to have that kind of selfish little thing to get to where you want to go.
She became the monster she sought to destroy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Drew's favorite quotes. I put in there my octopus cell phone holder. I'm waiting.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah. I wanted something to jazz up my desk that wasn't, something fun. Anyway.
Yeah. I have one more bonus question, but I need someone else to have something else, because Jper just reminded me it can't end on this because it's too much of a bummer. So I need someone to promise they will have one more question after this.
I'll come up with something. Anybody will come up with something.
Someone will come up with something. I want to know.
I already have one.
Okay, good. Yes. This is the Drew sign off here question. This is mostly for Sara and Swiffer. From the female perspective.
I can answer this too. I'm just kidding.
And JP, because he's a lover of women.
I'll start it. Actually, I'll start it. It's fine.
Actually, okay. Sara and Swiffer, we don't actually need you guys. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this without putting any spin on the ball. Did the not just the, what did we decide, the horrible Rentthorn? Did Rentthorn make sense?
Rentthorn the Third.
Did Rentthorn the Third make sense to you as a character? And then larger, did the men in this book make sense to you as characters?
Yeah. Overall, yes, I guess both of those questions. But in my opinion, again, I really like the book, but I do think the themes that were very, very obvious.
Almost ham-fisted,
guess.
maybe, I would say. Almost, not quite.
Yeah, it was like kind of in your face, but it was well written. So like, you know, I could read it and like it was good. But there were so many themes, and like Red Thorn as a character, it was fine. Like he got his justice, and it was great. But it probably, like, this book absolutely could have been longer, so there could have been more detail going into a lot of different things.
I don't. Sarah, what did you think?
You're asking if the men in these books this book was believable, and yes, yes, they were. A little bit one-dimensional, but honestly, most guys are. So
How dare you?
How dare you, men stand up. Sarah is attacking. I guess because I was reading it, and especially after the scene,
in the library,
and I'm like, this person doesn't exist, and that's me living in. I'm a man, right? I've never had to worry about a man like this. But I was like, is this person even real, or is he a cartoon?
What? That's
Actually,
so
Drew,
real.
That's what's more real about all of the male characters is that's never shown in a book,
Right?
because this is like a fantasy book, right? So that moment, it didn't make me necessarily uncomfortable or comfortable, whatever. But that moment is a very real moment, because I think that one of the, like, and again, this is not me pretending to be a girl, but I know the statistics say that that's a very real thing.
Right.
That women, so putting it in the book doesn't obfuscate that, because all the other books never show that side of men.
Right.
In a way, kind of protecting the patriarchy, right? Like perpetuating like that doesn't exist, when in reality, it's a prevalent thing.
One of my hardest things with reading sci-fi or fantasy is that it's mostly written by men, so it's hard for me to get into that perspective from the male gaze sometimes, which is why I really enjoy when females write good fantasy / sci-fi, because it feels a little bit more real to me.
The voice comes across
Well,
better.
I'm not being sarcastic when I say this. I appreciate you both saying that. I guess I'm exposing myself as like a white dude who's not had to worry about a lot of different things. So like for me, when I'm reading, I'm like, this dude's a literal fucking joke. Like he's evil, and he's a predator. But like I think for it to read to you guys means that, like, yeah, I'm glad that I'm one step closer to understanding the female experience in some small way.
not in an offensive way to you, but that's like, it's ignorant, like,
right?
It's
no, totally
ignorance on your end.
I'm peeling back a layer of the onion, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that happens. You think about it more and more.
His own Siona moment where he's about to jump off your window over here.
I'm dealing with a lot right now. I need you guys to respect that. This is why I did not want it to end on this question.
No, but hold on. I'll give you. I will share my
question.
Yeah,
Mine's stupid, but go on.
Stupid is good.
No, I was just gonna say something, Drew. This was a very beneficial thing, which was very cool for me. A while back, I was part of a book club, and I was the only guy there. And a lot of the books were not what I would have chosen as a guy, right? Just like my genres. So I made it a point to read every single book that everybody recommended, but you get a sneak peek through these discussions, right? Just like you did right now by bringing up certain points and exploring certain characters at certain moments. You get a glimpse as to when characters are not portrayed correctly, when the voices are not right. Because I had the exact same thing. I had the very exact same question. I don't even remember the book. I think it was American Psycho or something like that. And I was asking something similar, and they were like, "Oh no, you just don't know because you're a dude that
this fully checks out.
Doesn't have to deal with it."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're just not privy to it because you're just like goofy old JP. Who's gonna like? Nobody's menacing to Drew. Nobody's menacing to JP in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Guys don't act like that around other guys.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Nobody's trying to put the moves on me.
Not yet.
So for a question, not yet.
All right, here's my final question. Was her age, Siona, was her age ever mentioned in this book? How old was she?
8-ish. She was like,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
late
Late 20s? Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
It's
it was
like
mentioned later on.
she's finished her
remember that-
post grad and she's talking about someone else's age and talks about her own age, but I don't remember what it
Okay.
was.
It's with
Yep,
her aunt too.
And she's not married. She's not getting married, and she doesn't have kids. And why don't you have kids? That
Yeah.
same rhetoric.
Yeah.
That was it.
28 ish.
But it is mentioned 27 years old.
27.
I just looked it up.
Okay.
That was close.
27, yeah.
Jper, does it bring you joy that your score is basically the average of all four of our scores?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, an insane amount of joy, and it wasn't calculated. That was my number
No,
before I
was
even
it?
asked the question.
I think
Yeah,
next
yeah.
time we should have the number down and then ask for everyone's number so it doesn't skew
All right.
anything.
So, a lot of the format I use for my questions and how I conduct it is because in other book clubs I've done, let's say 9 or 10 of these, right? My favorite one thing I omitted from this format in my excitement to jump in here was I used to ask for the number first and then the number later because sometimes the discussion gives you a higher or less appreciation for the book. Sometimes higher, right? Because you enjoy other people's perspective and then maybe you see a different thing. But sometimes you're very annoyed with the book. There's different outcomes for this drill, but I used to ask it before and after, and I'm remiss that this time I did not do it.
We'll get it on the next one. That's a great idea though.
Yeah.
Um
Because like it also, I think it's good to quantify them because this is not for any monetization or anything like that. But if we wanted to come up with like the top 3 book clubs, the highest scoring book clubs books in the book club for the last 2 years, we could easily revert to this and say this, and this are the 3 that score the highest among the cousins.
that's my favorite part of this. Like as silly as it sounds, the historical value of this. Like
Yes.
when I'm 50, like I would love to be able to see like, oh, I remember this book. Yeah, oh, we talked about it. I gave it a 8.25 and I learned about women.
Yep.
Like I think that's really interesting and valuable.
Yep, I think we need to open a Google Sheets thing to track it, and not we don't have to go back to all these documents and tabulate it later. But my suggestion for future ones is obviously have a numeric score at some point that people suggest on, and secondly would be that the person asking the questions, the picker of the book, asks the questions, but there should be 2 to 3 standard questions that are common through all the discussions.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
For whatever, just so that we can aggregate and say,
A control
some common
group,
thread.
kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know what those questions look like. I remember what I used to use for other book clubs, but we might want to do something different. So I don't want it to be my brainchild. I want it to be if it's agreeable, then we move something with questions that we all agree to.
I think that's it. How
I
do we
feel
want
like the favorite moment one is a good one that to ask every time.
And it probably fits a lot of stuff. Like it can
Yeah.
fit in any
This-
situation.
I hit you guys with some greatest hits here, but there was things we didn't get to, and I don't want to.
I think
You definitely
character
don't.
is good unless we're reading something really esoteric. Like I think that's a good idea. Like finding out Sarah's favorite character was Nakar was super interesting to me, and hearing her talk
Yep.
about why. So that might be one we should consider.
Yep, and we don't need to sort that out now, but what we do need to sort out now
Is
is
the
our
next
next
book.
book. And I don't. So we have, or do we have?
Do you want to do
we
a
have
randomize, or do you want to pick? I feel like we should probably randomize, right?
Yeah, no, we're. This is Game of Thrones all over again.
Okay.
We let the old gods and the new gods choose.
You want to share your screen so we can see it live?
Do you know the
It's-
books?
I don't know the books.
Sarah's gonna tell us the books.
So no, what I need is hold on. I'm asking. How many books are there?
4.
I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT to pick a number between 1 and 6. Oh, we're not 4. Sorry.
Okay, let me write them down first.
Do you know them?
No.
I don't
The
need to know
Kite
them. But
Runner.
Oh, I love that book. I haven't read that book in a long time. Okay.
Me too. The Whale in the Living Room.
I'm gonna finish
Do
that one. Sarah.
Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
That's on the list for me for a long time. It's been there.
And Station 11.
Pick the Kite Runner.
Me. I've never read it.
Okay.
It's
It's
great.
good.
I would not be upset at all if we read that.
I know. I
read it,
just
yeah.
I have it.
That book's great.
I don't need to buy it again. I own it. So
Don't tell me which one it is. I'm just gonna ask the GPT to tell me 1 and 4.
you know, there's a random number generator website.
Yeah,
Sarah
but the
wants to
GPT.
see the wheel.
You want to see the wheel, sister?
No,
Sarah, be
We'll do it
honest with
differently every
yourself.
time.
we
The
don't have
GPT
to do the wheel every time.
Yeah, we'll do different things. We can
Yeah,
roll
we're
a
gonna
dice next
try
time.
some stuff out.
GPT says pick 3. 3.
Do androids
Drew.
dream of electric sheep?
Yep. Due date will be. Let's target due date middle of February.
Yes, they do.
Who said that? Is that PT?
Is there
Yeah.
a ChatGPT on that side? That's
It's,
speaking.
yeah, it's
Is it an
it's a
AI
Tilly
Tilly?
GPT.
Yeah.
Can Tilly see my video?
Tilly, can you see?
She's no,
Oh, she's out.
no, she
okay.
can't see it.
I
Not sure.
love this book. It is super short.
So-
I think it's 200 or something.
That's good.
I want, yeah, no, you know what? No pretext at all. I'm excited to read it and talk to you guys about it.
Yeah. And Drew, but I didn't want to crap over yourself because I was very excited to talk about this. But I don't think we should put a lot. Like you can put, but I think the book host should do is send tidbits of interesting things. But we should leave all the discussion for the book.
Yeah, discussion should live here. Yeah, for sure.
Because otherwise we'll get into some juicy bits in chat that are better preserved here.
Yeah. I'm totally with you.
Yep. So I would encourage whoever's hosting to put little tidbits about authors, about whatever, the setting, the place and time, if it's real base or whatever, fun facts, side facts, but not. We should limit the discussion to book things.
My book literally talks about all of that in his book. It's
Right.
so fun.
It's so fun. Mine is based
It
on a real
is.
thing. No, I'm just kidding. I have it here. Oh, I wish I could hold it up. I think it's in the other room. I'm not going to hold it up, but very excited.
I need to figure out my next book 8 months from now, but I'm excited to.
I just
Not
read
gonna
between finishing.
Between Two Ferns, it's a great show.
What is this book called that we just read? Blood Haven, Bright Haven, Blood over Bright Haven. I read The Daughter's War. Speaking of like visceral shit, like if you really want to get into like what a war is like when you're on the battlefield with swords and shields and horror, it is it's really good for that.
I'll check it out.
The Daughter's War. Yeah, boy, some of that imagery is going to stay with me, like the ribbons, similar to that. Great job, guys. How do we close it out? The cousin. I think that was a successful cousin book club.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that MC wasn't here because I'd love to hear
I know.
his answers to these questions.
Yeah, and he was doing good progress in the book too. I think he finished it. Might have gotten close to it. I don't
he
know.
was. Last I talked to him, he was close. So I hope he finished it. Maybe we'll have a addendum, an epilogue.
Yeah, we could have an appetizer. He listens to it maybe, and then we'll whoever can jumps in here and we'll
has a brief discussion, and we marry them on YouTube.
Yeah.
We marry them. That's
All
illegal.
right. Yeah, it's called incestuous. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for listening and watching. Future us, thank you for watching again. Thank you for reading Blood Over Brighthaven. I think that kind of average, definitely a read. If you're curious about this book, you should read it. It's good.
Read it. Yeah, read it.
And now I'm going to hand it over to Drew, who is going to go over a brief conversation with MC.
Hi.
there we
Should
go.
we come up
Hi.
with
Hi.
a cousin book scale, like a recommendation scale, a something?
Oh, you know what? That'd be
So,
kind of
I think-
awesome if the numbers all had a different recommendation level.
So I think we do it by season.
4 out of
right?
5 cousins recommend this book.
Yeah. All the
Yeah.
good-looking ones recommended this book. I think we'll give us. I'll create a spreadsheet as a point of discussion. That we have a couple of months to review that.
Yeah. We'll go over that.
Yeah.
Tilly
And then-
was saying that she's MC because she's Matilda Cass, so
there
it
you go.
counts as
That's
MC being here.
That's true. That's an excellent point. She's MC also. Yeah. I'll come up with something, and then we'll come up with, because I think we should do it by season, right? So will be season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Once everybody runs through their book, then starts a new season 2. And there's no silly rules about, if somebody wanted to jump in and nominate a book not already in the list, and they're committed to reading all the books, then jump on.
Cool. And
Partake.
doors open to all cousins. Like obviously.
Yeah. Even the stinky ones.
Even the stinky, you know who you are.
Yeah. Anywho, I think we did it. Let's keep it short.
Keep reading and never stop grammar.
I want that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna work on it. I want what is that? You know what, that 90s,
It's never
2000s,
stop dreaming, Drew. Not
that little banner that used to come across with the little
The
shooting
more you
star.
know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah, something like that. I want to make that version for us.
Yeah. Here it is.
The more you read, yeah, there we go. That thing.
Look at this white guy.
Your sign up, yeah. Hey, white guy, what's up?
This white guy loved the book, and you will too. The more you know.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.